doing my morning ritual of walking, getting some fresh air, but it won't last long because I got to get back to work. So, last night I did a video on my channel why uh why is everyone working so hard basically, and the myth of working hard is the key to success. We're living in a time, guys, where people are working longer or just as long as literally people did back in the peculiar institution, as the intellects call it. Guys, people are working 12, 14, 16-hour days. And people are even working Monday through Friday and looking to get something to help them work Saturday and even Sunday just to pay their bills. And people will tell people, young people especially, older people will tell younger people, you guys are lazy, you don't want to work. Guys, let me let me tell you, that's not true. Older people, if you're watching this, that's not true. Stop. If you like, don't look at the young people that you see in your community that's probably don't have opportunity or access to do certain things. You would have to come out here. Right now I'm at a rest area at a truck stop in Georgia. You would have to come out here. See, the reason why you don't meet a lot of the young people that's actually working these 12, 14, 16-hour days is because they're working. You won't see them because they're working. I just wanted to make that point. Now, the question I would like to ask is, where do you guys see the United States in 5 years? 2030. Where do you guys see the United States in 5 years? Currently, guys, we're living in a time where we are spending our youth. Some people are even in old age, and I feel sorry for them too. People 60 years old, 65 years old can't retire. I know this one guy, his name is Kevin. I used to work with him at another job. Kevin is 62 years old, I believe, and he said that he was waiting for Social Security. So he's still working so that he could get money coming in until Social Security comes in that he's been paying into for over 30 years. Kevin would be considered a successful person if we judge it by material things. He has ran successful trucking companies. He put all of his kids through school. They're all college educated. Um uh One is a principal, some others are in the nursing field. Uh he he bought a nice house, some nice material things. And I think that that's one of the problems. And I'm not saying this dissing Kevin because Kevin is a great guy. We judge our success in this country by material things. So most people, they when they ask how they're doing, they immediately point to something material. Oh, I have a nice house, or I have a luxury apartment, or I have this thing. We don't actually get to the intangible things. How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? How do you feel when you go to bed at night? How's your health? Um, how are you mentally? Everything is based on materialism. How much money you got. And so I wonder, and this is the question I'll ask, where do you guys see the United States in 5 years? I repeat that question. Where do you see the United States in 5 years? Okay. Now I want you to think about automation. Um, Guys, I'm out here at these warehouses. I'm out here in the trucking industry, and I go to places. And I have to tell you guys, it's not a lot of people working in these warehouses. Is the warehouses are empty. It's a lot of people uh wanting jobs. There's no jobs out here, guys. I'm on the front lines of this. I'm in every city, pretty much. For example, I was in Cincinnati last week. From Cincinnati, I was right now I'm like near Atlanta. By tomorrow, I'll be in Houston. I've been everywhere in this trucking industry, and I wouldn't say that the trucking industry is the end all be all. I mean, but I would say one thing I would say, these are going to be one of the last jobs available. Believe it or not, they could automate everything. When people who are pro automation, what you don't understand is nothing that can be automated. When people say, "Oh, the lower end are going to be the ones taken by automation," guys, there's nothing that cannot be automated. If you are a nurse, if you are a doctor, your job can be automated. Whatever you do, your diagnoses, the years of study, they can take all of that information, put it in a computer, create a system. One second. Create a system that could replace your job. If you are a person who changed tires, if you are a locksmith, if you are, uh, hell, an entrepreneur, if you are in the stocks, all of our jobs are not safe with automation. I want you to understand that. So don't be pro automation because you think that it's going to replace the little McDonald's server and you get your food faster. I want you to understand that your job isn't safe either. Your job is automation because everything can be we can automate a president. We can automate a Supreme Court justice. If we're going to, everything could be automated. Just like you talk to ChatGPT, OpenAI, Gemini, and you ask it questions, if they can create a system and a robot to do that for everything. So I think that in the United States, things are going downhill pretty quickly. Well, I would say slowly. It's going downhill slowly. I think the model that we're living under is the elderly and the old are pit against the younger pit against the old, black is pit against white is pit against black, religions are pitted. We are put in a position of binary opposites. One thing I noticed by being out here, guys, because I interact with people. See, I talk to you on the internet, but I also interact with people in the real world. Guys, I've interacted with people of so many different nationalities and places. I've interacted with people from India, people from different cities, white people, black people, Asians, Latinos. Yesterday, I was interacting with some people from Asia. So when you really have world interactions, you're not judging about things like how somebody posts a video online. I'm actually in the physical world interacting with people. You feel what I'm saying? I'm in the like from the backwoods of Alabama, Birmingham, interacting with the white guys over there, to being in Atlanta, interacting with some Asians over here, from being in Chicago, interacting with people from Russia. So it's different for me. Like how I view the world is a little bit different because I'm having real world experiences with people. I'm not just on the internet talking about these different people. People get on the internet and they talk about binary opposites and they make a left versus right, us versus them. But I don't even know if people are actually having real world interactions with the people that they're talking about. It's people who make videos about whatever opposites it is, and they don't even have real world experience with these people. Imagine I get online and I create an enemy, and I'm talking about these people, but I haven't even met them. That's one of the problems. That's why we're so easily divided. While automation is going to take most of the jobs here. That's the point I was making. We're so divided here. Um, And most people are pretty cool when you meet them face to face. When you really chop it up with people, man, most people are pretty cool. So I don't have much time. I got to get back to what I do. But what I wanted to say is, guys, things are definitely difficult in the United States. Like, I'm actually planning for October, November, December, and how I'm going to play it, hoping that everything's go right. But in that, I'm not even planning for a vacation, really. I'm not planning to do nothing special. I'm planning to just catch up with the money game. My ultimate goal, guys, is to not have to work. I repeat, my ultimate goal is to not have to work. My ultimate goal is to spend time learning. I want my work to be learning. I want to be able to spend 10 or 12 hours learning new languages, interacting with new people, learning new places. We have come to where learning is a luxury, guys. I don't care about um having a bunch of material things. And that's my last question. Uh Before I go, guys, do you think that the purpose of life is simply to work to buy things that are made in China or Asia or made to you by wealthy people to sell to you? Is the meaning of life to just buy things? Are we here just to work, get money to buy things? Is that what you is that the end all be all? And then if you can't buy those things, now you feel bad. Now you don't even feel human. I would say no. I think that this materialism that we live in, trucking and being in the trucking industry has really made me realize being in a culture of materialism is really silly because I go to the warehouses where these stuffs are made. I know guys that move the Tesla trucks. I know that I've been to like these places. I know how these cars and these trucks break down. I know how, well, I'm learning, I would say, how these things are made in other countries, shipped here, and sold to us. I've been to all of these different communities, so many different places. It's more places in the United States, and I gotta say this, that look like than it is places that like big city. That's another thing. I come from a small town, so when you come from a small town, you think that the world is so much bigger. But once you start leaving this place and you travel, what you're going to realize is most of the United States is rural, small town, and is places in the United States that's just wilderness. And then you have 50 cities, major cities in each state. You got a city, one major popping city in each state. That's how the United States is designed. Okay, are we here or existing simply to buy stuff? Are we existing simply to buy stuff? Like you're living, you're working, spending time to what? Buy stuff, clothes, food, shelter, housing. But then it doesn't last. The next day or the next week or the next month, you're back working, buying to keep what you just finished working to pay for. And I think that the creators of this system is genius because ultimately you don't want the people that you are profiting off of, the consumers as they call us. You don't want the consumers to ever have enough. Why would you want the consumers to have enough? Then they won't work. Why would you want consumers to be debt free, not owe you? Why would you want them to make enough money? Then they wouldn't work because it's not natural to just get up every day and work for other people. It's not natural. Now it's different if we're working for a common goal, but it's not natural. It's unnatural. Why the young people don't want to work is And I made this example, and I really have to go, so I have to make this my closing statement. Imagine there's a pie. The pie is a metaphor for capitalism and the way that the world works. When you when the pie is first created, that's my timer. When the pie is first created, it's big, and we cut it in half. So all of the people born in the right generation, the older generation, they got the best pieces of the pie for a cheaper price. Then the rest of the pie is for everyone else. Now, the second half of the pie, you're going to get a smaller piece of the pie, but you have to pay more money for it. And plus, that is based on scarcity. Like the more, the less something is, the more valuable it is. So this is they're brainwashing us. In my opinion, you're giving me a framework which to think with. You're not allowing me to think for myself. You're telling me what to think. So you're telling me that I have to pay more for a smaller piece of the pie because of scarcity, and that it should be more valuable. So this is why I say, where would America be in 100 years from now? Because the pie is going to keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and people are going to have to pay more and more and more for a smaller piece of the pie. And that's either true or it's false, because they tell us that it's designed off scarcity, meaning that it's not enough for everybody, which that's just a framework which they're telling you to think with. They're telling you it's not enough for everyone. It is enough. But if you have some people that want to hoard everything for themselves, and they say that they worked hard for it. Come on, guys. Let's be realistic. Where do you see America in 5 years? I would like to hear it in the comments. Peace.